Hello, children of the Emperor. Today, once again, we have the armored contingent of my 18th Legion Salamanders army. Changed, updated, more powerful than ever. Starting off, we of course have the mightiest Gojira, sacred beast of the apocalypse, Vulkan's wrath made manifest. This thing is so gnarly, but it's so hard to fit into games. I've only been able to play it twice, and that's been with 3,000 point games. But it does work. This thing has killed Custodes, Death Guard, pointed it at Mortarion and killed him halfway, only for him to be capped in the back of the head by a Primaris Librarian with a bolt pistol, taking him off his last wound. A story for another day. Definitely going to go on a purity seal. Next we have the Hammerfall Bunker. Probably the worst unit in the Space Marine Codex, but just really cool looking. I modeled it with a heavy bolter and a flamer on each side, just because that looks cooler and seems to make more sense to me. It was actually surprisingly fun to paint. It has all these big flat panels and lots of little things sticking out for different pops of color. And I tried a new thing with all these lenses. I did the dots in the corner, which I've never done before. I don't know why. It was literally the easiest painting thing I've ever done in my life. But then I coated each lens with between 3 and 5 coats of Ard coat to give them a really glossy look. It doesn't look that great on the flat ones, but the round ones really pop. Maybe one day that thing's points will come down by about 100 and it might be useful. Next we have my Primaris Tech Marine, made out of the Iron Hands dude. He mostly hangs out with Gojira, coaxing the angry machine spirit to life. I've got my 2 impulsors, and as you can see, all of my tanks and Redemptors have gotten these nameplates. They're from Versatile Terrain. All the tanks are named after volcanoes. The regular repulsor is Olympus. And the Executioner is named Deathfire. Fortunately, these guys don't really see the table that much. They did just get a points drop with chapter approved, but they're still just not quite there yet, especially when you don't really need their transport capacity because of the smaller boards. As for my other 2 tanks, we have 2 gladiators. And I left the turrets unglued, so you can just pop them off and the main cannon armament just swaps out. You don't even have to magnetize it. It's great. So I have all 3 options for both tanks. And right now I have one as a gladiator, or one as a Valiant and one as a Reaper. This one's a Krakatoa. Ignore the Death Watch symbol. I got these off eBay. This one is Vesuvius. I gotta say, I think the Impulsor chassis makes a really, really cool tank. I hope they keep going with it. Maybe make some indirect fire units out of these to update the Whirlwind. I think it'd be cool. These things are really, really good. I like using the Valiant instead of 2 squads of Eradicators. It's slightly less points. It's actually quite a lot less points, but I find that it's easier to hide and it's more mobile. It's got you can pop smoke with it to make it -1 to hit, and it's got way more toughness. I just think it's more durable than the Eradicators. I'm sure most people would disagree with me, but I like them better. And now we have my Redemptor Corps. These guys got nameplates too. This is my first Redemptor, my first big unit that I bought after I started with Dark Imperium. Fist of Nocturne. He got a tiny bit of a paint refresh about a year ago. But with these other 2 Redemptors, my painting has improved a lot, and I just thought he was looking a little worse for the wear, so he got a little weapon upgrade on his fist. Next we have this guy, Vulkan's Hammer. He was my second one. I love the dynamic pose that I have him in. I just love having 3 of these guys just stomp up the field and smash everything to bits. Then we have my newest one, Anvil of War. And he makes use of the Blade Guard Ancient banner guy who is now a nearly dead Space Marine inside of a sarcophagus inside of a Redemptor. Also use the Blade Guard Ancients Purity Seals. More Purity Seals. This guy has made the 18th Legion proud, apparently. Also really proud of his Mechanicum skull, which I somehow got a perfect straight line on my very first try. So I run them WYSIWYG. I basically bring 2 plasma and 1 chain gun, and they all just hang out and stomp up the board and kill whatever they come into contact with. For 2,000 points, I bring the 3 of them, the 2 gladiators, a bunch of aggressors, some terminators, 1 big squad of intercessors, and character support, and that's about it. And it's just complete threat overload. Do you kill the tanks and ignore the aggressors? Do you kill the Redemptors and ignore the tanks? Do you kill the aggressors? What do you do? That's how I love watching my opponents squirm. Just watching this wall of ceramite and steel come towards them, knowing they just can't kill everything. And whatever they don't kill is gonna slam into their lines. There it is, the armored contingent of my Salamanders. Also expanded my table, built some fortress walls with the Midwinter Minis method. It didn't turn out quite as good as his, but me and my son had a lot of fun making battle damage. I printed out little posters, added weeds coming out of the cracks, grime, Blood, I was sparing with the blood to try to make it look good. As for the entire table, it's basically 44 by 90. So I can chunk out the middle for a 2,000 point game or use the entire thing for a 3,000 plus point game. Use these graveyards as dense cover. They're Age of Sigmar mausoleums, I think. All right, that's it for this one. Until next time, Vulkan lives.